Hey, we're back on the air here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. Yeah, 50 minutes of non-stop music, and we're going to be jamming this hour with some more great hits. Getting in the next hour, stay with me. Phil Collins, Genesis, all that good stuff. This guy always had great remakes in the 80s. Yeah, David Lee Roth, California Girls, rocking the 80s on GJRB. I believe about 1984 for that one, wasn't it? Something like that? Yeah, that was a great video, too, as a matter of fact. I remember that one. Yeah, you better believe it. Yeah. David Lee Roth doing California Girls, remake of the old Beach Boys hit. Gary J. Russell with you, rocking the 80s on GJRB Online. I hope you enjoy the program. I hope you'll stay with me throughout the afternoon. We got some more great 80s hits coming your way here on Spreaker across America, and we got some more really good tunes, and we'll be rocking it with you. We missed that 45-minute window there, that 45 minutes past the hour window for Weather on the 5, so we'll do Weather on the 5 just ahead of the news, and then coming up on the other side of that, we got another 50 minutes of nonstop 80s hits coming your way, so keep it here on GJRB Online. Gary J. Russell with you. Coming up along the way, too, we got some good tunes. Jermaine Stewart, another Stewart. You know, they had a lot of them in the 80s as well as the 70s. And coming up along the way next hour, we also have some good tunes from Richard Marx and Kenny Rogers, Sienna Easton, The Police, among others. Lionel Richie, too. So keep it here as we're rocking the 80s on the GJRB Online Network. You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, and smooth afternoon. If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming. And programming in other great music formats, like blues, urban, including rap. Also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish and some great gospel programming too. For more information on that 6.7.
stimulate my brain. Night is down, so I wish let's get to know each other better, so it's easily. Take my hand, let's hit the floor, take your body to the music, maybe then you score. So come on, baby, won't you show some class? Why you wanna move so fast? We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no, we could dance and all night, all night, all night. We could get it right. We don't have to take our clothes off, no, no, have a good time. Oh no, we could dance and party all night, get it right. Just slow down. If you want me, a man wants to be a old cool and romantically. I got me, just like you. Give me conversations, good vibrations through and through. So come on, baby, won't you show some class? Why you wanna move so fast? We don't have to take our clothes off, no, have a good time. Oh no, we could dance and all night, and we can get it right.
GJRB News, I'm Gary J. Russin, and the fire starts our news this hour in Philadelphia. There's a fire explosion in the largest oil refinery in the East Coast, which sent a massive fireball in the sky and shook nearby homes in and around that area this morning. A blaze broke out in the Philadelphia Energy Solutions refinery complex at about 4 a.m. Spokeswoman Charisse Corley said that the news and amateur video showed an enormous orange fireball which bursted out into the sky about 20 minutes later. Nearby residents were asked to stay inside, and roads around that complex were closed. Meanwhile, in Denver, students were killed. Two students were killed in an attack at a suburban Denver high school last month were high on cocaine, they're saying, as they walked into the building with a guitar case full of guns, according to a newly released court document. Investigators say that the suspects, Devin Erickson, 18, and Alec McKinney, 16, were all using cocaine at the Erickson's house before hacking into their parents' gun safe and acting with a crowbar. McKinney who was born female, identifies as a male who wanted to hurt his classmates because they taunted him over this gender identity. And coming up, we're going to take a look at that stock market report and see what's going on in the stocks. We're going to do that right now. We're going to take a look at the stock market report. So I find it here, the GJRB CNN stock market ticker, and see what's going on in there. And then coming up next hour, we'll have 50 80s favorites, and I hope you'll stay with me for some of these great 80s songs. And I hope you're enjoying the program. If you like the show, hit that like button. I want to hear from you. And we'll give you news in brief every 30 minutes, and the best music, Rockin' the 80s on Rockin' on the All 80s. Garyj102, Rockin' the 80s on a Friday afternoon. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and program wherever you're listening across this USA. And it looks like I'm not getting that. We'll do the closing stock markets in the next hour. Meanwhile, though, current temperature once again in our North End studios here at Spreaker is at 4 o'clock Central Daylight Time is at 70 degrees. And in the GJRB News Desk, Central Daylight o'clock Eastern. And I'm Gary on GJRB Online Clip Music as we get started in a new hour. Hey, coming up this hour, we got some more great music, so I hope you'll stay with some great music and for some of the really good tunes. So let's check. Yeah, no, this computer.
Now, here's some of the 80s classics coming up this hour on All 80's 106.7.
Hey, coming up this hour, we got some good tunes. And I know you're gonna like to hear this song. We're gonna be playing. This song should have been a movie. Kind of like El Paso. Yeah, we're going to play this one coming up. That's a great song, and that is Hazard. The video to this song really does become a movie, kind of. It's just that great. So we'll be playing that one, Hazard. And we also coming up, we have some more great music. And that includes U2, One. I like that one a lot. And That's All, a great Genesis song. We'll play that one coming up. Didn't have my previews ready, so I'm just going to keep on previewing as I do them. And also coming up this hour, Stuck on You, Lionel Richie. Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Alana Miles coming up as well. So let's get this hour started, rocking the 80s. 50 minutes of non-stop music right now. And if you like to hear a song, we're going to open up the request lines as well. That's why I thought, well, since I didn't have the darn thing ready with the previews of my songs, we're just going to open up the request right now. And it's it's Friday. And that means that we're going to open it up and just let it go off freestyle now. We're going to jam back-to-back 80s hits and 50 minutes of non-stop music. So let's get it going right now with that fabulous song that should have been a movie. This computer, why it's getting stuck on stuff here. Should have cleaned it before airtime. Again, that's, I'm not following my little rundown of things to do before airtime. Richard Marx, Hazard, Rockin' the RB Online.
understood what I felt for Mary. No one cared until the night she went out walking all alone and never came home. Man with a badge came knocking next morning. Here was I surrounded by 1,000 fingers suddenly pointed right at me. I swear I left her by the river. I swear I left her safe and sound. I need to make it to the river and leave this old Nebraska town. Think about my life gone by, how it's done me wrong. There's no escape for me this time. All of my rescues are gone, I swear I left her by the river. I swear I left her safe and sound. Oh, I need to make it to the river and leave this old Nebraska town. Is it getting better? Or do you feel the same? Will it make it easier on you now? You got someone to blame. You're saying one love, one life, when it's one need in the night. One love, we get to share it. Leaves you, baby, if you don't care. Did I disappoint you or leave a bad taste in your mouth? You act like you never had them, and you want me to go without. Well, it's too late tonight to drag the past out into the light. We're one, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other, carry each other. Whoa. Have you come here for forgiveness? to raise the dead? Have you come here to play Jesus? To the lepers in your head, did I ask too much? More than a lot. You gave me nothing, now it's all I got. One, but we're not the same. Well, we hurt each other, then we're doing it again. You say love is a temper, love a higher love. Love is a temper, love the higher love. You asked me to enter, well then you made me crawl. And I can't be holding on to what you got, when all you got is hurt. One love, one blood, one life. You got to do what you should. One life with each other, sisters, brothers. One life, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other, carry each other. One.
GJRB online on Spreaker across America, and U2 was a great song called One from about 1989, and Richard Marx, the movie video, great video that went with The Hazard. Gary J. Russell with you, rocking the 80s here on GJRB online. Coming up is another great song we're going to be hearing. Yeah, this is one of my favorites too, by Genesis. Yeah, you know it. Oh yeah, coming up also is going to be, let's see, what else do we have? Oh yeah, anyway, yeah, what else we got coming up? The Place, King of Pain, Lionel Richie on the way. And let's see, Everybody Wants to Rule the World coming up. Along the Miles, your request too in the Spreaker chat room. Open up my Skype. That's Gary.Russin, or if you're on Facebook, you can, if you're a follower of me on Facebook, you can just hit me in the Facebook there and call up on the line. We'll put you on the air. And of course, you can also get a hold of me through the Spreaker chat room, and I have that open as well on either my tablet or the computer. And you can put in your song in there. And this song by Sheena Easton and Kenny Rogers was a remake of a song by Bob Seger. Yeah, We Got Tonight, rocking the 80s from 1983.
I know you're weary, and I know your plans don't include me. Still here we are, both of us lonely, longing for shelter from all that we see. Why should we worry? No one will care, girl. Look at the stars now, so far away. We've got tonight. Who needs tomorrow? We've got tonight, babe. Why don't you stay? Let's make it last.
Let's find a way.
Turn out the light.
Oh, come tonight. We got tonight, babe. Why don't we stay? We got tonight, babe. Why don't we stay?
Yeah, fabulous. 1983, Kenny Rogers along with Sheena Easton. Yeah, and we got tonight Rockin' the 80's on GJRB Online. Phil Collins along with Genesis and That's All.
Just as I thought it was going all right, found out I'm wrong when I thought it was right. It's always the same, it's just a shame, that's all. I could say day and you'd say night. Tell me it's black when I know that it's white. Always the same, it's just a shame, and that's all. I could leave, but I won't go, though my heart might tell me so. I can't feel a thing from my head down to my toes. But why does it always seem to be me looking at you with you looking at me? It's always the same, it's just a shame, that's all. Turning me on, turning me off, making me feel like I want too much. Leaving with you's just to putting me through it all of the time. Running around, staying out all night, taking it all straight or taking one bite. Living with you's just to putting me through it all of the time. I could leave, but I won't go. Well, it'd be easier, I know. I can't feel a thing from my head down to my toes. But why does it always seem to be me looking at you, you looking at me? It's always the same, it's just a shame, that's all. Truth is, I love you more than I wanted to. There's no point in trying to pretend. There's been no one who makes me feel like you do. Say we'll be together to the end. But I could leave, but I won't go. It'd be easier, I know. I can't feel a thing from my head down to my toes. So why does it always seem to be me looking at you, you looking at me? It's always the same, it's just a shame, that's all. But I love you more than I wanted to. There's no point in trying to pretend. There's been no one who makes me feel like you do. Say we'll be together to the end. But just as I thought it was going all right, I found out I'm wrong when I thought it was right. It's always the same, it's just a shame, that's all. Well, I could say day and you say night. Tell me it's black when I know that it's white. It's always the same, it's just a shame, that's all. That's all.
Oh yeah, Phil Collins, great song too. I like that one. Big hit for him. From the early 80s. Rockin' the 80s on GJRB Online here on Spreaker across America, and I hope you're enjoying the program wherever you're listening across the fine USA. We're going to take a look at that weather on the 5s coming up in just a little bit, and more will continue with more than 50 minutes of nonstop Rockin' 80s for you too as well as we continue into, this is part 2 by the way, part 2, and we're going to head into part 3, and 50 minutes of music continues here, 50-minute music hours right here on Spreaker on GJRB Online, and got a lot of really good stuff coming your way, so I hope you'll stay with me in this next hour. More 80s, and we'll take some requests and open it up as we're doing Open Friday request, and got a lot of really good songs coming around the way too, from Alon Miles and Falco and Starship, Matthew Wilder, among others, coming up as we're rocking the 80s here on GJRB Online. And if you like our rocking 80s, you want to do, I'm thinking about an 80s weekend. I was thinking of one earlier, and we're going to pull one off. It's like we do with our Golden Weekend Rock and Roll Oldie show. I'm going to do an 80s weekend with nothing but 80s all weekend. So watch for that on the GJRB Spreaker public site, on Facebook, Twitter, and Convo, and MeWe. So we're going to be posting there again in the next part, and launch some listeners and do another 50 minutes of nonstop music. So I hope you'll stay with me for that, and wrap up this segment. And we've got a lot more coming up here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Back-to-back 80s favorites here on GJRB Online. In the next hour or two, we'll give you our program schedule, what we got coming up on GJRB next week, and what we got coming up in spontaneous broadcasting, actually. Some of the programs coming up in spontaneous. I'm talking about another jam session with my friends over there at our Spreaker studios down on the Church of Christ, so that's coming up. So Christian jam session, so stay with me for that. Also got some more great, I got an interview segment coming up with our pastor, and various other things. So keep it here on GJRB Online on a spontaneous summer. You never know when we're going to be on the air here on GJRB Online. Coming up also will be our return of crooners, radio, television, and movie classics under our nostalgia icon. We got some of those coming up. I always love putting those on. And Way Out There coming back with a more strange and bizarre, and a whole lot more good stuff. So keep it here on the GJRB Online, and you can find it on Spreaker. And we'll also do our shout-outs, too, coming up. We have a birthday shout-out coming up for a program director that almost hired me in Kewanee, Illinois. So we're going to say hi to him and wish him a happy birthday. And a whole lot more. So keep it here on Spreaker, GJRB Online, and have all this fun stuff. But right now it's time to take a look at our weather on the 5s. Take a look at some national temperatures across the USA. Los Angeles checking out 70 degrees. Yeah, they're about almost the same temperature we are right now. Actually, 64 degrees here in Clinton at the Mayor Farms at Eagle Point. We'll take a look at our weather here coming up in a minute. But right now, just take a look at weather elsewhere. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, checking in 66 under cloudy skies. Des Moines, 71 and cloudy. Over in Salem, Massachusetts, you guys are at 66 degrees under cloudy skies. Paducah, Kentucky is 90, really hot part of the country, mostly cloudy skies, and it looks like some interesting weather there for you guys. We'll take a look at that. Looks like you guys are under, and I'm waiting for it, a active watch, severe thunderstorm watch for Paducah, Kentucky. I know there's been we're going to have some severe weather here in the Midwest. So we're going to take a look at that coming up a little later on. Right now, 64 degrees here in Clinton, Iowa, at the Mayor Farms at Eagle Point Park. North winds at about 3 miles per hour, gusting to 15. We're expecting some thunderstorms here in Clinton, Iowa, too, as well. A 60% chance of rain, low about 57, with east winds 15 to 25 miles per hour. 20% chance of precipitation again tomorrow, with a high close to 80, about 79 degrees with east-southeast winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And tomorrow night, 80% chance of thunderstorms again, with a low of 67 degrees again, with southeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Once again, 64 degrees at our GJRB Spreaker Studios. where we have some of the best in music. Hope you're enjoying the program. If you like our show, hit that like button. Always like it when you smash the like button, because we know you're out there listening to the best 80s music there is on the dial. Take a look at some of the news headlines we're covering for you this hour. An explosion in Philadelphia woke some people up this morning. Explosion of fire at the oil refinery, the largest oil refinery in the East Coast, sent massive fireballs into the sky, shook nearby homes, and that was before dawn. The blaze broke out at the Philadelphia Energy Solutions refinery complex at 4 a.m. this morning. Spokeswoman Garyj102 Corley said the news and amateur videos showed enormous fireball bursting into the sky about 20 minutes later. And meanwhile, they investigated that shooting in Denver, and they said it stemmed from a bunch of students high on coke and discrimination, and of course, a attack on bisexual. So we'll talk about that. And I'll have the stock market report all coming up in the next half hour. Gary J. Russin, GJRB News, with this half-hour update. And we'll have another update coming up in the next hour. News when you need it at the bottom of the top of the clock to keep you on top. GJRB Online News. And more good stuff coming your way. You want to have a conversation with me? Yeah. In the chat room, you can do that right here in Spreaker. And this section of Great 80s being brought to you, of course, by Spreaker. And, of course, we're going to bring you our Spreaker shout-outs coming up next hour. Spreaker, you can be a DJ like me and do this fun radio stuff. All you have to do is just start a, what do they call that? Start an account. And when you do that, all your shows are heard on Facebook. Of course, you might have to pay for it, like I do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I manually post them anyway, for free. You know, because I can do that. And, of course, you can also post. I also post in other places, too, like Convo. And you want to check out a social site that's free? Check out Convo. COMVO. I mean, these guys are fabulous. It's a free speech social site. You can get on there and converse with people and take opposing views if you want to. That's what's fabulous about it. And you can do that. Check it out. Right now, The Police, King of Pain, 1983, Summer on GJRB.
on the sun today. It's the same old thing as yesterday.